When did you first become aware you were having problems with your mental health, and how did it make you feel?
So I was around 14, coming up to my GCSE exams. Things were starting to get a bit more out of control. I didn't feel like I was able to deal with my emotions. I was starting to have panic attacks, and I felt quite isolated and quite alone because I didn't speak to anyone for over a year. I kept it all to myself.
Who did you speak to about it first, and what was that like?
I spoke to Childline for the first time because I couldn't speak face to face. I couldn't get the words out. And so I decided to use their online service, and that made it a lot easier for me to talk. And being able to talk to somebody that I didn't know made it a lot easier. How do you previously help students with their mental health, and how did you plan to help me once I told you?
I think you were my first student. I remember the first time you actually came to me, I think I did feel nervous because I was scared. What if I say the wrong things to you? What if I can't help you? I just remember phoning your mum thinking, Naomi's going to hate me. But I knew deep down I had to do that phone call, and it was an important phone call for me to do. I talked with the school nurse a lot, with CAMS, they gave me advice. What made you reach out and talk to someone at school when you were experiencing problems with your mental health?
After I'd spoken to Childline, they'd sort of encouraged me that I needed to get some more support, and that support needed to be face to face. So I figured out that if I wrote things down, I could explain things a lot clearer, and that made it a lot easier for me just to be able to talk about it.
And I think, writing things down, that's an amazing idea. I still use it now with students, because I remember sometimes you did say that you couldn't just tell me, and I just remember coming to my office and there was a little letter from you, so then I knew I had to go and find you and have a chat, and then after I read what you said, I could talk to you about it.
What advice would you give to a teacher or member of staff when talking to students about their mental health?
Listen, give them time, give them attention, show them that you care for them and you're there for them. I think those are the main things.
Yeah, and I think they're things that you did quite well, and that's what helped me build the trust with you, and to be able to open up and talk about things.
Yeah. What 3 pieces of advice would you give to someone who is experiencing problems with their mental health?
The first thing I'd say is to talk to somebody and do that in a way that you feel comfortable with. So if you want to write that down or you want to say it face to face, just do it in the way that's most comfortable for you. The second piece would be to look for self-help things online. There's so much information out there, and if you can find that information, you can start to figure out strategies that you can use before you manage to get that professional help. And talk to those around you, so talk to your friends, talk to your support networks, and it's okay to say, I'm not having a good day, and just be honest about that, because quite often your friends will know that you're not having a good day, but they're just too scared to ask you.
Yeah. What can people do to help end discrimination towards people experiencing problems with their mental health?
I think be willing to learn. There's so much information out there, and also just being open to having that conversation and opening up that conversation with people, just asking how are you and doing the small things just really makes a big difference.
Yeah.